So I recently dug out a lot of my books from back when I was studying illustration at university, just so I could get a look at what I was doing back then, because since I left university and since I fell out of art and fell back into art, I have become mostly a digital artist, and I feel like some of the magic has been lost from me. So I would like to start filling sketchbooks again. But before I do that, I kind of want to look at what I was doing before to inspire me and help me steer clear of some pitfalls, but also figure out what I was really enjoying doing back then. These sketchbooks were ones that I could find marked observational, which was a bunch of sketchbooks that we were supposed to fill purely with observation. It makes sense, right? So I find these in a box, so they're not in the best condition. They should stick together, I guess. I kind of want to keep these on camera just in case I do have to get rid of them. I cleaned them pretty thoroughly, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna try and do them in order. As you might be able to see, I have book 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7, so I don't know if the others are here and just not labeled. But I basically haven't opened any of these since I did them. A couple of these are handmade, and some of them, like this one obviously, is just one that I bought in some shop, probably TK Maxx or something. But yeah. Hopefully there's something interesting in one of these. It says, I always leave the first page blank. People expect a lot. Like a first impression. The first picture in a sketchbook or the first sentence of a novel gives you an idea of what is to follow. I can't live up to that expectation. Well, I guess I have some notes in here. I'll blur out any diary entries, but these are some sketches from Starbucks, circa 2012. These are some people I went to class with. And Richard Selkind was my lecturer in first year as well. Yeah, these are just some sketches of people I went to school with as well. This is the head of our illustration course, Kieran Phelps. He didn't have a mohawk, but I guess I felt like he needed one. I don't know who this is, but I guess I didn't like him. I'm literally not going to read any of these diary entries because they're going to hurt me mentally, I'm pretty sure. Some Bill Bailey and Richard, my lecturer again. Some more Richard. I got some riddles over here. I reached around to hug you, never since then stopped. Battered, torn companion, I can never be swapped. I'm full of holes and often leak, much to your detest. And halfway through I start to wave until you're led to rest. I'm gonna guess that's skin. This is Rosie and this is Holly. These are some people I lived with in first year. Moran in black books. I was always obsessed with black books, so that's never gonna go away, unfortunately. I've got a fly, some kind of cloud. And yeah, this is Holly and Rosie again, and I think a little self-portrait of me. Some Sherlock. Once again, I'm graffitiing my own drawings because I hit them, in which Charlie watches Sherlock season 2. I'm not sure what this was, but we love the passion. Ferry home from Holyhead. I guess some of the people I was drawing on the ferry. These are my parents falling asleep, I think, on the on the table of the ferry while we were waiting to go. Looks like the master. I guess I was watching Doctor Who again. I think that's a very terrible Thor, maybe, or something like that. It could be. It's one of the Chris's. They all look the same to me. I'm sorry. This was. I don't know why this looks like George Bush, because he definitely wasn't there. But I think this was Mark Gatiss and Andrew Scott and maybe Laura Pulver. When I went to see the season 2 premiere in London of Sherlock, I got to meet them. I don't think I brought this book with me, but I think I drew that after. It's like an improvement challenge, I guess. Nice little still life. Ooh. Some gems from Sherlock again, some better than others. Guess that looks like Sheldon, or not Sheldon, Leonard. And that's probably Dean or Castiel or something. I think this is Charlie. I was writing like a fan fiction back in the day called Angel on the Radio, for Supernatural. I haven't read it since it was something, but I didn't plan it or anything more than this list, and I would just cross out and write a chapter every now and again, so I guess that was some little things for it. Yeah, that's one. Book 4, I guess, would be next. These were like some nicer journals that I got out of like the local art shop, like supply shop. I didn't remember liking these ones, but I can't remember how I felt about the paper. So, starting off strong, I got a watercolor of like my family home at Christmas. This is my brother Declan, just chilling on the couch. This is proper watercolor paper, which is nice. This is my brother and I think his wife, my mom, my brother's ex-girlfriend, and my granny. And this is the TV, I guess they're all looking at. This is a little diagram for assembling the Christmas tree. I'm just in pieces. And before we decorated it, I guess the point of view from Squirt, which was my dog at the time, he's not passed. Squirt's Christmas morning. Please don't comment on the name, I didn't pick it. I don't know what these were. Oh, okay. Well, jump scare with a clown, I guess. It's Mr. Chuckles. I guess I just made up a weird clown. He's looking at me, I can't do it. It's definitely a still from a TV show, I just don't know what it is. Tough guy with a phobia of puppies. I guess he's just like crying into his hands. Girl with a phobia of birds. Phobia of millipedes. God, it must have been some phobia show I was watching. I was just watching people's reactions. This looks like Michael Emerson. He played Ben in Lost, which is one of my favorite TV shows, and he was one of my favorite characters. This is a very cool scene. I was just messing around with watercolors again. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, super hoolock. God almighty. I have like a little Doctor and Castiel and Sherlock down here. Looks like Dean and Castiel with some Pink Floyd lyrics. Whacking Life ? I've written at the top, which I don't think I remembered when I wrote that, because I think this was a name for a comic. It's the name of a movie, which is a really good movie. I think I've written like some ideas for things there, and then I just didn't fill the rest of this book. I don't know why I started a new one whenever I hadn't finished the last one, but go off past me. There's some little series of something back here. Some notes from me. It looks like Winona Ryder. I thought it was Cassandra for a second. Guess that's book 4. I have a feeling book 5 is not going to be very full, because this was a book that I made and bound. Just, they told us to just like grab random paper. I guess I do have a book 2 somewhere. But yeah, they told us to get random paper, and then they taught us how to bind and stuff. So this is FCH, this is Francis Close Halls or whatever, one of the campuses at school. And I guess I scanned this and stuck it in from one of the other books, but the Folk Museum in Gloucester, another chapel in Gloucester, which is I think that one they use for all the movies. The church we spotted at the traffic lights on the bus back from Gloucester. This must have been a quick sketch. Drawing of Oxford. The Ironmonger, Gloucester Folk Museum. Oh yeah, they had like these spec shops set up there, I guess. So it's also stuck in Worsley House in Cheltenham. A little sketch that I've scanned. And some washes on these, I guess. It's the same place, just a different perspective. Gum Arabic print. Yeah, this must have been the original then. Clock Tower in Cheltenham City. Piffle Pump Room. There's a lot of really cool buildings in Cheltenham. FCH Church. Apparently, I have decided to take the skills I've learned from drawing and observing buildings to replicate a building from the classic horror sci-fi thriller film from each decade between 1900 and 1999. The buildings I've chosen follow: La Maison, Frankenstein, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tower of London, House of Dracula, Black Castle, House of Usher, Rocky Horror, The Shining, and House on Haunted Hill. I created a Concertina booklet to present these drawings, and cut into the pages to make it a guessing game where the viewer must try and identify the film and the year of the film, each building I drew. So yeah, I didn't do more on this, but I do think I have this book actually. Yeah, this is the Concertina book that I made. I hadn't opened it, so I didn't realize that's what it was, but I wonder if I can get this string off. I don't think the knot will untie anymore. So, yeah, okay. So yeah, I've drawn each of these little houses with like a flap to tell you which one is from where. Sure, I got a bad mark on this because it's like badly done, but the book's pretty okay. I think it's not bad. The binding obviously held together even after all the years and damp and stuff, so fair enough. So this book's done. There's nothing else in it. So I'm about halfway through. This is another book that I made. This is book 6, which I used to capture our trip to Berlin in 2011. Oh, we had like things that we had to do, so we had to find 10 people in winter clothing. So I think a couple of these are people that I find on the train. This was James. It's just someone I went to school with. Some of them are as well. These are all people I went to school with, so I guess I wasn't drawing native Berliners, but there's some pretty little flags and lanterns. There was like a bar down there, I think. Cafe Cinema. 10 drawings of animals from painting or sculpture. So I think a lot of these were graffiti or sculptures that we found. We did go to a couple of museums though. And we went to the zoo, which was very important to me. So 10 drawings of live animals. I think because a lot of this is on watercolor paper or even heavier stock, I sort of intended to paint into them later, but I never did, clearly. Let me take it to the radio tower. And Sophia the octopus from Sea Life Berlin. Some little maps and stuff. Apparently we stayed in the transit loft in Berlin over the few days we were there. So, this place. Some little penguins. These are oil pastels. I really liked using oil pastels before I finished school. The walk sign. I think these were just like random student newspapers that I had intended to draw on as well, but obviously never did. So I guess my Sea Life tickets. It's more of a scrapbook at this point than an art book. I went to the Philharmonic as well. That was really cool. Monster Cabinet I didn't get to see because it was on the same night as the Philharmonic, and by the time I turned up there wasn't enough time. I had to like run back to the hostel. I got lost like 6 times. I had to like ask for directions in a restaurant, and then I had to get a taxi. I missed the group that were going to the Philharmonic, which was only me and 2 other people, and yeah, it was a nightmare. I came in late. I had to wait for the first bell and then go in. Quite an experience. This is the brief, I guess, so I just use it as a backing paper for the book. And the last one, Observation 7. Another book that I got from like SPOP there. I think these are out of order, even though I've written the numbers on them, but this is when we went to see Midsummer Night's Dream at the Royal Shakespeare Company. I've written some little quotes from the book on here. We were making like an animation for it, but we had to like kind of do our own thing, so I took some sketches while we were watching, which I'm sure that everybody loved, that there was just like 20 students like scribbling with pencils in the dark. So the version that they did was like a modern like telling of it. They had these really cool concept costumes. That was where the Birdman came from in one of the other books, I guess. I just redrew him in here. I think that's really cool. They had these chairs hanging from the ceiling and this beautiful nest for Titania, which is what I ended up using for my animation. We had like a pan background and the chair would rise up through it and it would go from night to dark, or night to day. Research for bottom. Research for Puck. I love Puck. Titania. Some of these little costume designs are quite cute. And this was some of the prep for the backgrounds I wanted to do. And we also had to do like a comic, I guess. So I wrote out the section of the play that I wanted to use for the comic, and then I changed it into like Northern Irish slang, and then promptly forgot that I did that when I did the presentation until somebody reminded me to tell them what the twist was, because I forgot. So I got some storyboarding stuff and done some character design. Not really very good character design, but I guess, you know, we all start somewhere. I guess this was like the comic, or some of it at least. I was really inspired back then by this short online comic called Hannah Is Not a Boy's Name. And I really liked the way that they did paneling and colors and stuff. So I tried to bring some of that into the final comic that I made. I don't have a copy of the animation anymore. Wow. I might try to look that up because I'm sure it's maybe on one of my logs somewhere, but it got destroyed because some of the guys I live with was borrowing my laptop and pulled it in such a way that my external hard drive like crashed onto the ground, and I lost all of my work for that year. And that was all the high-res images that I had for the animation, so I had like a couple of days to submit. So I basically had to redraw some of it and use low-res JPEGs for the background, so it came out really bad. But, you know, things happen. So I think that's everything from these books, at least. But I have some more. So if you like this kind of thing, leave a comment, like and subscribe if you are wanting to see more of this. That would really help me. And if you do decide to stick around, I will see you in the next one.